Okay, that wasn't him, so I'm going to keep going so I can get this done and over with. That's the goal today, is to get all of this done and over with. So, the end of the pregnancy and the day that I went into labor. So, I had been having contractions, real contractions, for about 2 weeks. And I would have them for an hour and then they would stop. Later that day, I would have them for 2 hours and then they would stop. Middle of the night, I would have them for an hour and then they would stop. And I mean, like, contractions that were 5, 6 minutes apart, um, a minute in length, like some serious intensity. No progress at all. This went on for 2.5 weeks. Um, at this point, at the end, my blood pressure started to go up, which is really rare for me because I typically run really low. And so this is why we resorted to trying to strip my membranes and see if things would pick up that way. Ultimately, my membranes were stripped 3 times. Sam still didn't come. He said, I don't care what you do, I'm not coming. So it was a Saturday morning. I had been having contractions all night. I hadn't gotten any sleep. Um, and we called the doctor, and she said, she had some things going on with her kids that morning, but she said, tell you what, if you call me back in 2 hours and you're still having contractions that are this long and this intense, then I want you to meet me at the hospital. And if we get there and you're still contracting, she said, I will not send you home. I will, rupture your bag and get you going. Ultimately, the goal was obviously not to be induced and not to have any medication, period. And we were able to stick to that plan. And so we got to the hospital about 12:30, 1 o'clock, met her there, and she stayed with me the entire time, which was awesome. Ended up having a water birth, which was even better. Um, so now I'm this big, huge advocate for, non-medicated water birth, because listen, honestly, I'm one of those girls that I have been hooked on Advil for ever, since I was 16, since I was having, regular periods. And I mean, day one, the minute I feel a cramp, in the medicine cabinet grabbing 2 Advil. And every 6 hours after that, I'm grabbing 2 more Advil because I don't want to feel the pain. Like, I just don't want that. And so, anybody, if I could go through this birth completely unmedicated, I swear anybody can do it. And it is the most liberating feeling ever. So, like, we went back to the doctor yesterday, and I was telling Dr. Karandi, I said, he said, how's the baby? And I said, he's awesome. And he said, how's the birth? I said, it was amazing. And he said, did it go okay? Did it go as planned? And I said, yeah, the plan was no medication. And we lucked out, and we got no medication. And we also had a water birth. Like, he just came way too fast for them to get me out of the tub. So I had him in the tub. And so he goes, good, good, good. So rarely do things that you plan go that way. But, she broke my water at, 2 o'clock. At 4:34, I had Sam, so 2 hours, 2.5 hours of labor, almost, 2 hours and 45 minutes of labor. But serious, intense labor. It was insane. They were, right on top of each other. And I remember in my birth video, which I'm not sure I'm going to post or not because it's rather graphic, I seriously did not, like, I couldn't catch my breath, because they were coming, like, right on top of each other, like, no downtime in between. And so I started out on the birthing ball in our room, and was only on the birthing ball with the contractions for maybe 20, 30 minutes, just the amount of time for them to fill the tub up, because she said, you know what, at this intensity, you're going to have this baby really soon, and I want to get you as comfortable as possible. Like, the positions in the bed, even like on all fours and holding on to the bar and all of that, nothing was helping. Like, I was not making it through those early contractions very well, which is why they moved me to the tub really quickly. Once I got to the tub, it was a whole lot more manageable, but still, nothing can, as many all moms know, nothing can compare you for the pain of birth. And I will say the water was probably the only way that I made it through that, because it not only was it soothing, but it gave me a distraction because I kept feeling like I was going to throw up. So you're dealing with, this intense pain, and then you're in this tub of hot water. And every time I leaned over in the different positions, I would lean over, the heat from the tub would, kind of like engulf my face, and it felt like I was having a facial. Honestly, I thought I was going to gag. I was going to throw up all in the tub. Like every 2 minutes I kept saying, I'm going to throw up, I'm going to throw up. Luckily I didn't. And, Sam came shooting out. Like, she checked me at 4:30, and I was 4 centimeters. She didn't tell me this. She would not tell me this. I said, Dr. Cook, how far am I? Like, I can't keep going. Like, this is just insane. I'm dripping. I'm soaking wet. And she's like, just keep going, just keep going. And I knew something was up because right before she checked me, she said, if you feel like pushing, go ahead and try to push. And I tried to push, and I said, oh no, it's not time, it's not time. And she said, okay, well, don't do it. And then when she checked me, and then she said, if you feel like you have to push, I don't want you to push. I knew I was nowhere near ready when she told me that. But she wouldn't tell me the number. She went out of the room and told the nurse the number. She went out of the room to tell Paul the number. She whispered the number to the doula, but she wouldn't tell me. So, which thankfully she didn't, because I would have said, forget it, you may as well bring the anesthesiologist and bring me my drugs now, because I would have given up at that point. So they left out of the room, and she was talking to the nurse down the hall, and something just snapped inside of me. Like, I felt this snap, and all of a sudden, like, honestly, it felt like, if any of you guys remember that cartoon Sonic the Hedgehog, like, he's got all these spikes and things on his head, and he would, like, turn really fast and, like, burrow through these tunnels, and you would see rocks flying all over the place. Honestly, it felt like Sam was just twisting and moving and trying to get out, and just that fast, I went from 4 centimeters to 10 centimeters in 13 minutes, and the kid was out. Like, I'm not playing, he was out. I couldn't sit down. I kept saying, if I post a little clip of my birth video, you'll hear me screaming, he's coming out of my butt, he's coming out of my butt. It was the most hilarious thing ever. But I couldn't sit down because he was moving so fast. And so I was like, oh my God, he is like, I just knew my insides were shredded to, death. Like, the way he was moving and trying to get out, it was insane. So the only little minor thing was, because he came out so fast, he had broken capillaries in both of his eyes. But they healed over about 2 or 3 weeks. By the time we went to his 1-month checkup, the broken capillaries had healed. So, which is typical of babies that shoot out, basically, is they're not giving their bodies enough time to compress to get through the birth canal. They just, boom, come out, and it compresses everything at one time, and it forces the capillaries to break sometimes. So, we had an amazing, wonderful water birth, and I'm hoping for the same thing next go round. Hint, hint. Next baby on the horizon already. We had an appointment with Dr. Karandi yesterday. So, what do I want to show you? I want to show you this. I'm just going to run this across here. And those of you that I referred to Dr. Karandi, thank you for mentioning my name, but this is what I want to show you. We've got lab orders for our frozen transfer. So, the goal is to start and end the year of 2013 pregnant. And then I'm out. I'm done. I'm done being in this baby, pregnancy and birth and labor and delivery phase. Like, I'm done with this. I'm ready to have the next baby and be done. Whether or not it's a girl matters not. Obviously we would like a girl now that we have 2 boys, but we had 2 frozen embryos down at Dr. Karandi's office, and we're going back to just have those transferred. Had that appointment, that return consult on yesterday, and looking forward to starting that as soon as I get a period. I finished breastfeeding Sam last weekend. I nursed him like 3 days ago because I wanted to. And I was kind of full, so, and I really missed that, bonding experience with him. Let me back up a minute. So Sam's birthday was March 9th. He was delivered at 4:34. His stats were, he was 8 pounds, 10 ounces, 20 and a half inches long. Um, his first APGAR was 9, second APGAR was 10. Moving and shaking. We came home the next day. I didn't stay in the hospital long. I was ready to come home. Again, I did the same thing with Sean, and while we're at the hospital, everything's great. The night you come home, it's a nightmare. But we learned a few things because this was the second baby. We had to pack and play in our room next to our bed, and so I didn't have to do that constant back and forth between the nursery and our room. Which made the first 2-3 weeks really, really much more manageable. The deal breaker, so to speak, was that Sean went back to school that week because Sam was born on Saturday, and he went back to school on Monday, and like Wednesday he came home with a cold, a little virus that was going around school, and the whole house got it. Sam wasn't even a week and a half old before he was sick, which was just broke my heart. But the whole house was sick. Paul was sick. I was sick. It was just the most miserable thing ever. We were all holed up in our bedroom, and nobody wanted to move. Everybody was lethargic. It was just a mess. But thankfully we got through it. And again, every appointment we go to, these boys are off the chart. I keep telling Paul, when these boys get to high school, we are in for, it's going to be a mess. I don't know what to expect. The girls, the sports, I'm just trying to brace myself now. So, Sam is just the best baby known to man. He sleeps extremely well. He nursed well. He did everything well. I think, his MO was that, we had such a hard learning curve with Sean with him being the first baby and him also not wanting to sleep, that I think Sam came and was like, you know what, I'm going to just give you all a break. Just a really laid back baby. And he chills. He's just the best thing smoking, I think. And, Sean is 3 now, and Lord help us in that I don't want to. Why? No, mommy, phase. Lots of talking back, and it's just, you guys feel my pain right now. So that's what we're dealing with there. So frozen embryo transfer. Well, I have to have some prolactin and TSH blood work done, and then I have to have another HSG done just to make sure that my uterine cavity will support another pregnancy, which we're sure it will. And we have to make sure that my prolactin drops to 0 since I'm still fresh off of breastfeeding, and I just had Sam 7 months ago. So that's what's going on in Gilmore World. I left out lots of details, but I think for the most part it catches people up. It also gives Sam a little bit of a look back into the first couple of days and weeks leading up to his birth and what happened, right around that time. I also have a journal log that I'm doing for both of the boys too. So, and lots of scrapbooking and photo books from Shutterfly. So lots of ways for them to be able to look back when they get older and see. And I think these really helped Sean prepare for Sam, because if you see, actually I'm going to take this and walk down my hallway so you can see the photos all on the wall. And Sam would say all the time, ouch, ouch, ouch. Sean would say all the time, that's baby Sean. And it is. So look. So I don't know, can you guys see that? So the one on the top is Sean's christening picture, and the one on the bottom is Sam. You see Sammy Whammy? Here he is. He's such a ham. And there's Sean, christening picture. They look really a lot alike. I got another picture I want to show you quick. We had these pictures done at JCPenney when Sean was 3 months and Sam was 6 months. So that is Sean's 3-month picture at Penny. And what we thought made this picture unique was the fact that he was No, I'm sorry, he was 2 months. His arm was up on the arm of that sofa like that, and it was just too cute. And here is Sam's photo at 6 months at Penny's. It's just my little baby. So, what we did though was I have a wall here of photos. Let me turn the light on. That we would go down, and you can see my maternity photos with Sean. I didn't get to take maternity photos with Sam. So this was Sean's birth announcement, and those are Sean. Maternity photos, Sean. These are all Sean's maternity and newborn photos. And so we would come down this hallway and we would say, is that Sean or is that Sam? And Sean would say, that's baby Sean. And then here's some family pictures of Sean and us before. This was our fall 2010 family pictures. And so we would come down this hallway and we have family, we have grandparents photos here. And Sean would go, that's baby Sean. That picture is actually Sean, and it looks just like Sam. It's freaky how much these kids look just alike. And that was Sean, obviously. And then the last couple of photos on this side of the wall are Sean's 1-year pictures. And some pictures there. And the rest of the shoot. And you got pictures. I think there's one in there with Sasha somewhere up there. So, obviously a couple, photos on the wall where we really worked with Sean to make sure he was ready for Sam to come home, and did lots of books to make sure he was prepped and ready, that he was going to have a sibling, a baby brother coming home, and the pictures that we have of Sam that are going to go up, because I have to rework that whole wall now that we have another kid, and put pictures up of Sam. He knows now that he's the big brother and Sam is obviously the baby, and he'll look at the pictures and go, no, that's not Sean, that's baby Sean. So that's his little thing. But Sean is growing into this incredibly bright kid that, picks things up like that. And, I'm ecstatic to be a mom of 2. I'm looking forward to the next and final baby. And, whether or not either one of those embryos stick, this is going to be it for us. And I just want to enjoy this process, because 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, I never thought that, that we were going to have kids. And so, I just want to be supportive and, here to offer support and help in any way that I can to anybody that's going through that infertility battle. It's just that. It's a battle. It's a battle mentally, physically, emotionally. It's a challenge in your marriage, in your day-to-day life with your husband, with your family. It pulls in every direction possible. But I just want to let you guys know that, I'm here if you guys have any questions. And the blog is up, so take a look at that and to keep up with our journey. And I will be back probably later this evening or tomorrow, to get some updates in for the boys. Talk to you later. Bye.